Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Flotsam. We're back once again in the town of Rubbishburg, a town that is simultaneously surrounded by and completely out of water. And so the very first thing that we're going to do in today's episode is head on over to the new water tower to salvage the 20 fresh, clean units of water that are available over on that island. And then also, of course, at some point throughout the course of today's episode, check out these other two islands as well, one of which is going to give us 30 seaweed, an item that we're not really using too much just yet, but we might use at some point in the near future. And of course, another viaduct giving us yet more scrap that we can use later on down the line to make things like nails and pipes. So there has been an update to the game between episodes, and one of the key things that has changed is my boy here, Even Steven, has been tweaked slightly because apparently it was bugged in an earlier version. And so now there is a new little marker specifically for our friend Even Steven, and he can no longer fish. He can now only collect resources, much like any of our normal salvage ships could do. Apparently this is a short-term change. Apparently it's something that the developers want to, fix going forward. But for now, we can go ahead and we can schedule our good old friend Even Steven here to go and grab us just a bunch of plastic and hopefully slowly but surely bring that back to us. That's the plan, at least. Now, another problem that we have right now, and a problem that I did not notice in the last episode, is that we only have one boat available for fishing. We got one fishing boat, and we have two salvage boats. And so in the last episode, I kept putting down multiple fishing boats, hoping that we would get just a ton of fish being brought back to us to keep our drifters fed. Unfortunately, that's not the case because we only have one fishing boat, and so we can only do one lot of fishing at a time. So to change that, we need to put down another one of these mooring points for fishing. And to do that, we probably want to set up a little bit more space on our town because right now we're kind of running out of space. And so I think the first thing I'm going to do here is delete one of these beds, probably this one in the middle here. We'll deconstruct that. I'm sorry, Nick, you are going to be homeless temporarily while we relocate you to a new bed location, which for now I think we'll probably put somewhere over on this side, like right about there. That puts you nice and close to the fish kebabs there, Nick, as well as right next to some fresh water. He's going to love it. He's going to have a great time. And then we will, of course, expand out this side here, making our town just a little bit bigger. And we should probably also, real quick, actually go ahead and schedule a few more salvages as well while we're at it. So let's go ahead and also throw down a marker, I think, maybe over here, like that. And it might not be a terrible idea to also put down a swim marker right about there, because that can also be brought back should we need it. And then for the time when we do get two fishing boats up and running, we'll put down one right about there, and we will put the second one. Let's see. I'm hoping there's some closer by. It doesn't look like there are. There's some like right out on the edge here, but they are quite far away, aren't they? That's fine. We'll put one over there as well. That's fine. All right. We've got the water, which is not great because we're already down at 7 units of water again, which is definitely not the best. But we will go ahead and check out the viaduct, I guess, here. And we can also go ahead and check out the seaweed as well if we'd like. Now, I guess there's not really a huge incentive for us to stick around here. It's probably not a terrible idea for us to get the seaweed, but at the same time, it's not really a resource that I've seen us use a whole lot of, and I don't think it's one that we are in like dire need of at this moment in time. So it might not be a terrible idea. Can I really not squeeze this in here? Am I gonna have to rehouse somebody else as well? I have to deconstruct another small house? Okay, that's fine. But really, there's no research to be gained in this area right now, and so we probably want to move sooner rather than later over to this viaduct, although I have a feeling that this viaduct is also not going to have a whole lot of research on it. And given that we're out of oil right now, we don't really have much of a choice. We have to go to the viaduct, and then from there, we also don't have a choice. We've got to go straight forward with the wind to wherever the sea takes us next. And so hopefully it takes us somewhere nice and somewhere with a nice amount of research points to be gained. Now, another problem that we are having right now, as indicated by this little exclamation mark in the bottom right-hand corner, is storage. We're up at 187 out of 200 in terms of storage points. And so I think I will also go ahead and throw down at least one more little storage bay there, so we can actually start storing a couple more items and hopefully don't, slow our people down and have them waving their hands in the air once again, like they were doing just a few episodes ago. And speaking of our drifters, I think the update has added new traits. These might have been here before, I'm not too sure, but you'll see that now Alan has hunger. He's starved right now, which is not good, but he is eating, so he's fine. But he's got torpedo, which means he moves faster. Nick has got Hungry Hippo, he gets hungry faster, which is not the best. Gregory has Turtle, he moves slower. Scallop has got a whole host of things going on right now. Excuse me, where in the world? Scallop, what is going on here? The key thing that he has is moist, which means he drinks less, which I guess is perfect. Simultaneously, he is also parched and starving and needs to sleep, which is not great. We have food, we have water, and it is possible right now that he doesn't have a place to sleep. We might have to put down a new bed for him, but at the same time, those other two stats should not be as low as they are right now. Hopefully, he's on his way to get food and water. And hopefully today is not the day that we lose. Oh, he even has a bed. He's not one of the people who's been debedded. What in the world? Okay, well, I'm hoping he doesn't die. Which it looks like he might do because... Wait, is he dead? His eyes are closed. Oh no, his eye, he was blinking. I'm so confused. His health is at 0.37%. Where is this man? And why is he not eating? The game says that they will eat and drink wherever possible. I wonder if it's the case that maybe... I really hope he doesn't die here. He's dead. Is he dead? He's just dead. What in the world? Scallop. It says it's Alan. Is this Alan? What is going on? Like, Scallop... Take me to Scallop. Where is Scallop? Scallop's over here? This guy is not dead? Oh no, Alan was just sleeping on the floor and emitting green particle effects? What in the... Okay, well, I'm going to assume that Scallop is still alive. We still have 38 food. And so despite all of these bars being at 0, I'm going to hope and pray that he's still with us. Chip, on the other hand, is doing fine. Chip has the kids menu buff, which means he eats less. The same is true, I believe, of even Steven. He also eats off of the kids menu. He also has Torpedo, which means he moves nice and fast. Okay, so I'm just going to hope, again, that Scallop doesn't die. And whilst we're hoping, let's also go ahead and extend our platform out a little bit as well. So we'll run it out probably to about there because we don't have a ton of plastic left. And then as soon as that's down, we'll probably look into putting down another fishing boat, I guess, but really at this point, we probably want to focus more on our salvage boats than we do on our fishing boats. It seems like having just the one is doing fine for the time being. It seems like plastic really is the thing that we're out of at this moment in time. And so I will go and salvage the seaweed just because there's not really a good reason not to, outside of, you know, wanting to progress and wanting to get more research points. But as soon as he is back with that, I think we're going to move straight on to the next area, hopefully try and find some more research points so that eventually we can get ourselves a more automated form of food. Ideally, we're looking to get this fishing hut up and running. For that, of course, we need the net. And for the net, if we go back over to the research points here, we have to get ourselves the plastic recycler. So we need 15 research points. And right now, we have got a grand total of 1. So we're 14 research points away, which is not ideal. But hopefully, with a couple more map stops, we will we'll make it happen. Let's have a look at Scallop again. So Scallop, I have to assume this is just broken, right? He's still here. Is he working on this? It's kind of hard to tell because you can't click on somebody like inside of a building. And they all look kind of similar from a distance. You can't get any closer than this. So I have no idea what's up with Scallop. He's exhausted, he's starved, and he's parched. Yeah, he's got firewood in his inventory, so he's either working on one of these two, I assume. Or maybe the... maybe making the kebabs, potentially, as well. I'm not too sure. But the viaduct is done. Good stuff, good stuff. Fish and whatnot is still being brought back. Hopefully, even Steven's doing okay. Again, he is somebody who should have a bed. He does indeed. And so, presumably, he's going to use it. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, so he is actually sleeping. He's doing as intended, which is very good. I'll lower his priority, maybe, on fishing. You know, maybe give him a chance to go and sleep and whatnot, but nevertheless, we have completed the seaweed recovery mission, and I believe that it is probably in our best interest now for us to ship on out of here. So you know what? I'm going to wait for this boat to return with whatever is on here, a plethora of seaweed, and as soon as they stick that into our very cramped and packed storage, we will we'll ship on out. And actually, you know what? We're going to ship on out now because we don't have enough storage space to store all that seaweed. So let's move on over to the viaduct. Oh, man. The next stop is the end. Okay. Okay. So real quick, we need water. And we don't have like an easy way to get it. So let's go ahead and check out the Shack Town, which is the best place to get research points and really the only place that we can get research points right now. Food-wise, we are doing kind of okay. I am going to put a fishing boat down right about there. And I'm also going to put, of course, a big old marker down for our seagull friend, like so he can go and collect both the wood and the plastic there, bring all that back to us. And I'm not confident that we're going to be able to unlock the remainder of the research before we hit this this end game here, the final node. This is the end of the map. Moving here will teleport you back all the way to the beginning. Oh, I see. Right. That's how that works. So as soon as we get to the end of the map, it's going to just push us right back to the beginning again. Okay, that makes sense. You know, it's early access. There's not like a defined ending just yet. That makes sense. So I'm kind of thinking we probably don't need a second boat. I don't know what's changed. I guess it's maybe the fish kebab that we put down in the last episode that's kind of really keeping us going on food here. The thing that really seems to be letting us down right now is water. And so it might not be a terrible idea to put down yet another solar still. Although, if possible, it would be pretty great to get the desalinator to remove salt water and generate fresh water in large amounts. But with 4 research points in hand, that doesn't seem particularly likely to happen anytime soon. Can I scroll back through the map? I don't think I can, right? No, I can't. So I can't, like, plan for the future. I don't know what's coming. I also don't know if, when we go back to the beginning, if we, like, reset all of the research points again, or if we just have to go to all of the different research point areas, like all of the different nodes on the map that we haven't already been to get more points. You know what I mean? I would assume it works like that. I'd assume that we can't go back to the same places and just keep milking them for resources over and over again. I'd assume we have to go somewhere new. But I guess we'll find out momentarily when we leave this area. So we'll check out the Shack Town. We'll check out the salvage. I guess we'll check out the viaduct and get all the scrap metal. And then once again at that point, I don't know if there's much of a reason for us to stick around. If we don't get 15 research points, which I think is highly unlikely, then I might just go ahead and unlock the research for larger storage, because we are at capacity right now and we can't even go about putting down another storage container because we don't have enough plastic. So it might not be a terrible idea also to go and put down like another swimming marker here so that both a person and even Steven can go and swim, bring some stuff back and keep us going in that way. It might also not be a terrible idea to get the distiller back online, because we are, once again, creeping very close to not having any water whatsoever, which is really not ideal. And also, yeah, you can see, yeah, I'm unable to hold these items to storage because there's no space for them. So I don't know what we're supposed to do in that scenario. We're one piece of plastic shy, and I don't think that this guy can do anything, or either of these two people can do anything, until we get another piece of storage down. And so I guess real quick, let's bump the priorities of this up to water gathering. Let's bump everyone's water gathering priorities up a little bit so that hopefully somebody will go and gather some plastic. I could even actually, I guess, move Even Steven's marker. If we look at the markers and we get rid of Even Steven's marker, we could then put it down again, but just smaller so that it only gets plastic. And that way we should, if we do it like here, get a new piece of plastic fairly soon, I would hope. If Even Steven is not also having the same problem where he can't deliver resources. Hold on, let me click on Even Steven here. Yeah, he's twiddling his thumbs. Okay, so I think, okay, can I tell you to drop the fish? I don't think I can. Who is this? Who is wandering free right now? Who are you? You are Gregory. Gregory, your job and your only job right now is to go swim out and get me some plastic. And to make sure that's all you do, I'm also going to move this marker, remove it, and once again place it down a little smaller, because I think we're in a bit of a pickle right now, to where if you don't go and get us some plastic and then build us a storage unit right away, some of our drifters are not going to be able to do anything ever again, by the looks of it, which is not great. But I think that's kind of our only choice. Now, I also can't help but notice that Gregory is not swimming.
Yeah, sure.
And in fact, everyone is still just waving at me.
Yo.
Chip also seems to be doing fine. He's carrying a lot of food. That's okay. And I don't know. I have no idea as to why even Steven is just hanging about, floating around in front of this. It looks like, again, he's trying to deposit things into here. Can I don't think I can delete these, right? No, I don't think I can. Oh, no, this is not the right thing, you fool, Isaac. You absolute madman. Water gathering refers to the gathering of clean water, not to the gathering of resources. The gathering of resources is under hauling, right? Maybe? And or fishing? Salvaging? Salvaging. Everybody? Go and salvage. Please, somebody. Salvage me some plastic so that we can end this. That's my bet. I thought that this here, the water gathering, meant gathering from the water. That is not what it means. It means doing what these guys are doing with the solar stills here and getting the water and putting it into our water tank over here, which is currently empty. And people are currently complaining about thirst. I don't know what to do now. I honestly do not know what to do now because nobody, despite, you know what, there's one more thing that I can think of doing here, and that is unassigning every other task that it is humanly possible for a person to do. And then also let's put down a boat marker. Oh, somebody's going. Thank goodness. It took telling them to do nothing else to get it done, but finally somebody has gone to grab one single piece of plastic. But I bet if they can't put it into storage, there's nothing we can do, right? Is that the case? It's not the case. They put in one piece of plastic. Okay, thank goodness. Please, somebody come and build this little storage yard here and allow our people to free themselves of carrying all of this stuff. I understand, Alan. I know. I am acutely aware of the situation at hand right now. We have a little bit more storage now, which is great. We do not currently have any more research points because everyone's been kind of standing still for a little while here. And currently everybody is rather thirsty. Now, Nick is doing just fine. He's somehow managed to drink and is full on thirst. Everybody else, though, seems to be struggling here, and our solar stills are not particularly up to the task. And so, I think, at the risk of everybody dying here, I've paused the game temporarily. At the risk of people dying of dehydration, I think we should just move to the next location. We are going to miss some research points. Oh, I see. So we can just salvage the same things again. So can I just instantly move? I can't. Okay, so I don't know if this is the way the game's meant to be played, but I'm going to move directly to the point where there is more fresh water, as that seems like the best course of action here. So real quick, please salvage the 20 units of fresh water. And I believe it was Alan whose job it was to go do that. So real quick, Alan, if you could go and do that, that would be grand. Is this Alan in the boat here? It's not. Somebody's got in the boat and is going to check out the water tower, which is fine. It doesn't have to be Alan. But sure, that seems very odd, the fact that we were able to do that. But I guess it works. And I guess we have water now. As soon as this is... as soon as this boat comes back, we'll have 20 water and we'll be good to go again. Here we go. And I guess we should also go and try and get some research points from the abandoned shack. Yeah, why not? Okay, so I guess we'll throw down a fishing boat to get some fishing going again. Hopefully there's one close. There is. That one's close enough at least. And I think we're starting to get to the point where we've seen most of what the game has to offer right now. And I do like what we've seen so far. I like the idea of the game. I think it's got a long way to go before it's finished. There's like a lot of stuff that I think would need to be added for the game to be the best it could be. You know, refining some of the mechanics and whatnot. But I like what's here. It is pretty short as well. There's only a few hours worth of content really right now. Like even, I don't think it would take as much longer to get some of this remaining stuff. I don't really see the point in getting the water containers. I guess if we got to a point where we were making significantly more water, we might want to start storing it for whatever reason. I'm also not too sure still what the point is of the upgraded houses outside of maybe them looking nicer. They might have some kind of extra benefit, but if they do, I'm not aware of it. We did get 10 research points though, and so I guess let's go ahead and make a desalinator? Yeah, no, let's do food. Because right now we're in that situation where things have flipped and now water's fine, but food is less fine. So let's unlock the plastic recycler. Let's throw the plastic recycler down just as soon as we get 12 screws. So this is where our scrapsmith comes into play. So we need to schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lots of screws, because each time we get 2, so that's going to get us 12 screws. Once we have 12 screws, which does require firewood as well. Firewood is currently being made all the time, which is fine. We've got 63 dry wood, so that's okay. And as soon as those screws are made, we can then make the plastic recycler, which will allow us to make the nets. Once we've got the nets, we can then go ahead and make the fishing hut. And then once we have the fishing hut, we can use a net and bait to catch fish deep below the town. And hopefully at that point, we don't have to keep sending somebody out on a boat every time we need fish. Although again, like, I'm thinking maybe it was worth it to go and get the water again, because again, we seem to be doing kind of fine on food. But at this point in time, there's no reason that we couldn't just... Can we go get another pigeon? We need oil. Okay, so the only thing holding us back right now is the oil. So let's go get the oil. As soon as we have the oil, there's nothing stopping us from going straight to the seagull nest to get hopefully another seagull that hopefully is also named Even Steven, at which point we can then just instantly go over to the next water tower to get more water. And so I guess that's really my biggest gripe with the game right now, is that despite the fact that I almost completely and utterly failed this episode, I messed up with the priorities so much. There was such a long time when nobody had any food, and also I'm pretty sure Scallop is bugged. Despite all that, we're fine. Like, no one is dead. Everyone's still going. There's not much of a challenge at this point. Like, we can just, you know, blitz through all of the map locations and just get any resource that we need. Like, even without trying to get anything else, we can just move from location to location, grabbing the stockpiles of food, grabbing the stockpiles of water, and occasionally picking up some plastic and some wood if we want to expand out. But let's get the plastic guy down, shall we? Here we go. Boom. Just to see what it looks like. We'll put down the plastic recycler. And then what are we missing for the fish hook? We need 8 rope and 4 nets. So the rope is made in here. So let's go ahead and schedule up. Well, let's first of all unschedule the firewood. And then let's schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can schedule the other 2 in a second once that's done. And then at that point, we should have a nice amount of fish going. And I guess if we really wanted to, yeah, there's the oil taken care of. So you know what? Real quick, let's go and see if we can get another seagull. We can indeed. Steffi. Also, it's not called the same thing every time. Nice. All right, so we can go and rescue Steffi, which I guess is a good thing, right? Because having more seagulls about to bring more stuff back. And speaking of which, we should definitely be putting down markers like this so that our seagull can go and get us stuff. The more seagulls we have, I guess the better things are. Yeah, there we go. We've got 2 seagulls now, so I guess we can put down another seagull marker, like right about there, and schedule another seagull to go and grab that stuff as well. The plastic recycler is being made. How are we doing on rope? We are doing okay. And by that, I mean we don't have any rope just yet. We're still working on firewood. Can I cancel this? I cannot cancel this. That's fine. Maybe he's working on it right now. That's okay. I'm sure he'll be done any second now. There is our plastic recycler. So let's schedule 1, 2, 3, 4 nets. We do have enough plastic for that, which is all good. Although we might not have enough plastic to make this. Oh, no, we do. The fishing hut doesn't require plastic outside of the recycler. Not too sure. I'm going to turn this off. I don't know what's going on with the woodworking shed. Somebody is here, or it looks like somebody is here. And yet, nothing is being made. And I cannot cancel the scheduled construction here. Hold on a second. Can I cancel these? Yes, I can. Oh no, these are being made. They're not being cancelled. I don't know why this is not being done. There's definitely somebody there. They look kind of bugged. They're doing like the same animation over and over again. Maybe if I deconstruct it, it will kind of break this person free, and they'll be able to do things again. Who is here? Who is this person? Is it Scallop? It's Scallop. He's freaking trapped, man. Is that why? Oh my god, look at that. He's instantly. Oh. Okay, so Scallop was trapped inside of our freaking like woodworking shed, and due to being trapped inside of our woodworking shed, and I don't know how he managed to get trapped, by the way, that makes absolutely no sense. Also, apparently we cannot fit this back where it just was mere seconds ago, which is fine, I guess. We'll go and put it like over here, like opposite the plastic recycler. But that explains a lot as to why Scallop both didn't eat, drink, or sleep, but also maybe didn't die. Like maybe the game has like a contingency built in to where if you have food and water and somebody doesn't have food or water, then the person doesn't die, just because that makes no sense. All right, let's get some rope, shall we? Here we go. Okay, hopefully now rope can actually be created. Also, did I not put down a fishing boat? I didn't. Let's put down a fishing boat, because food is once again running a little low. We'll do that, so we'll go and get some fish for us, keep the food thing going. And we should hopefully be pretty close, finally, to getting our fishing hut down. And speaking of which, I know I've just put down all of our markers, but there's not really a whole lot of incentive again to stay here. Like, the next area gives us water, or potentially, if we come here, we can get yet more research points, which will allow us to get things like the desalinator. I don't know what the point of the food truck is either, really. Imports seaweed and fish and makes sushi and cooked fish. I think the final big thing we want to get is the desalinator. And at that point, we have, like, hopefully a decent amount of water coming in, and we don't have to, you know, rely on constantly going to new areas to get that water. We'll schedule 2 more. Oh, no, we've got what it takes to make the fishing hut. Nice. So we'll throw that down right about there. And hopefully, we can also go ahead and unschedule this now. Beautiful. Hopefully, as soon as that is done, we'll be able to kind of maybe forego our fishing boats. Again, I'm not quite sure how many fish we're going to get from our fishing hut. Hopefully, it's a decent amount of fish, like enough to keep our little colony of people going here. And I think, look at the number of fish this guy's got on his boat. Jeez. But I think as soon as this is up, we'll move over to the next town and try and get some more research points. We're only 13 away from the desalinator. And I think we can get that, especially with the shack town. The shack town's got a few buildings where we can go and get research points. Oh my goodness, look at this. This thing is pretty big. So here we can just, oh, I see. So we use the seaweed to get the fish. Right, that makes a lot of sense. So it definitely is worth us actually going and grabbing this 25 seaweed real quick. But instead of having to go out on a boat, you can just make it here in-house. You can use our seaweed to get fish. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So as soon as we're back with the seaweed, which hopefully shouldn't take too long, it might take 2 trips, but as soon as he is done with the seaweed, we will move over to what might be our final area, depending on whether or not we get enough research points. But at that point, I think we're pretty much done with Flotsam for now. We've seen almost all of what the game has to offer. I'm assuming that one of the last things that we're missing here, the desalinator, is very similar to what this does, in that it just turns water into freshwater, saltwater into freshwater, but just does a better job than our solar still does. The animation on this is cool, though. I like seeing the little net go down and then bringing back up the fish. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Like I said, I think we've seen pretty much everything that the game has to offer at this point. We can get bigger storage, we can get a nicer looking house, we can get a better water still to make even more fresh water, but I think for the most part, we get the gist. We've seen pretty much everything. We've been through the map once and a little bit again, so I'm definitely going to check this game out again later on down the line. If it updates a bunch and gets a bunch of new cool stuff added, I'll definitely come back and check this out. I like the core idea. I like the base building on the ocean, the salvaging, all that kind of stuff is super cool. I really hope they add more stuff to it going forward, but for now, I'm going to wrap up the Flotsam series there. As always, if you did enjoy the series and you want to see more city builders / colony survival games in the future, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new here to get notified as soon as new videos go out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.